2007 firing. Yeah. Come on, we here now.
I was a pain in the ass. I was like, I challenged the system. So you live in Atlanta. I had no idea how racist the state can be. I had no idea. You probably grew up with it. You knew how to be. I had no idea. I grew up here, corny, Pasadena, living my life, minding my business. Like the black, white, purple, green people, we all got along. Racism wasn't as obvious then as it is now. And I came in there loud and proud, and they couldn't stand me. So I cuss like a sailor. I don't hide that. But I said, mother sucker, and they were like, okay, this is it, right here.
So how long was your little vacation?
3 weeks, maybe.
Oh, shit. So you was right back.
I was right back. It was
so
maybe.
we all was suspended. You were suspended.
I got suspended. You got suspended. I got suspended.
Have you ever been suspended?
Without the fine.
What's going on, Rebel family? Today's video, The Champ is Still Undefeated, starring Kevin Samuels and Cari Champion. But before we get to the video, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That helps the algorithm, helps the channel grow. If you like the content, please share this video. Please subscribe to the channel, and let's get into it. So, Cari Champion recently sat down with the I Am an Athlete podcast, and we had a nice long discussion about various topics. I think the brothers are doing pretty well in terms of the podcast game. It's pretty entertaining guests, relevant guests. But in this particular episode, to me, it seemed as if this was a platform for her to champion, no pun intended, feminism, because there was a lot of feminist talking points. The brothers they did push back, and I was happy to see that a lot of times women get on these male platforms and then the brothers don't push back as they would if, they were speaking to a male guest. But they did push back. They did have some pushback for Miss Champion, and let's get into it. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because she evoked the name of Kevin Samuels in the interview, and then I guess, if you will, the hijinks unfold. But let's go ahead and jump right into that clip here.
I have a question now.
Go.
So this is not even a story. I have a question, and maybe y'all can help me, because I've been having this debate with my girlfriends forever. Like forever. And by forever, I mean the last 6 months, because I'm becoming more aware of it.
I don't like that, my girlfriends.
Yeah, because I want to make sure I'm not jaded, and as a journalist, I want y'all opinion.
Y'all jaded when the women get together.
Tell me.
They jaded.
And when the men get together? And when the men get together, what happens?
Let me pause this real quick, and then I'm going to get right back to it. Understand that she says, as a journalist, she doesn't want to be jaded. Keep that in mind.
You guys are fair.
We getting there.
We
getting
logical.
there when we start to talk about feelings and emotions, but I don't know, like y'all. It depends on
I
what
want to hear what she about to say.
I gotta talk about Black love and what it looks like. I have, and this is my world because I'm around y'all all the time. I think I'm jaded, so I want y'all to help me. So I hear all these conversations, especially from my homies that are men, that are like, Black women be this, Black women be that. And it's always they down on us, right? We angry, we mean, we need to do whatever. The list goes on.
I'm angry.
I'm sorry, you agree?
I love my Black woman.
Okay.
But she's angry as hell.
Why do you agree with that? Why do you think Black women are angry all the time?
Well, I just irritate her. Everything I do, I feel like I irritate her. I leave trash on the floor. She put it in front of me, like, you left that. I'm like, damn, that's petty. Like, y'all petty to me sometimes.
Now, would a woman that is not Black, would she be easy about it? Would she be easy about trash on the floor? I'm curious. I don't know. I don't date women. Nothing wrong with it.
She's getting messy right now, look.
Okay, so Swaggy P said from his experience, I'm sorry, this is Swaggy P, Pacman Jones, Swaggy P, Nick Jones, now I'm forgetting these brothers' names now. I'll have the link in the description to go over and check out the podcast. But anyway, so Swaggy P says in his experience, a white woman would have been easier. So if you don't remember who Swaggy P was, he was the brother who got blown up when he was on the Lakers. He's a professional basketball player, or he's retired now. He used to play for the Lakers. He got blown up by one of his teammates recording him, or he was on live. And Swaggy was talking about the other chicks that he was hollering at. And at the time, he was dating or with the white rapper Iggy Azalea, whatever her name is, right? So the brother got outed, and this is a whole big thing on social media that his teammate broke the bro code by recording him talking about all his other chicks, all the other side chicks. So he's saying in his opinion. Now he's right. It is petty. Okay, he left trash on the floor, which obviously is a grown man. He can pick up his own trash or whatever. But for someone, it's even worse for someone to pick up the trash and put it in front of him and say, "Hey, you left this on the ground," as opposed to just simply either leaving it and telling him that, or picking it up and throwing it in the trash and just whatever. But I'm not excusing him for leaving the trash on the ground, but it is hella petty to pick up the trash and then put it in front of him and say, "Hey, you left this on the ground." Like, who does that? That if I'm gonna pick up trash, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in the trash or whatever. I'm not gonna pick it up and then put it in front of the person and say, "You left that." Obviously, they know. But anyway, let me keep going. I want to get to the part here that while I'm playing this particular clip.
From your past experience,
picked it up.
They would have just picked up the trash. Okay. So
we going there.
So I want to make sure I'm going to repeat back what I heard. No, I just want to repeat back what I heard because I want to make sure.
My mom was a
Your mom also picked up your trash.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to make sure I heard. Okay, so a black woman will get mad at you if you leave trash on the floor, but if you date someone who is not black, 9 times out of 10, more often than not, she's going to pick the trash up and throw it away for you. So that's why black women are angry.
I will assume.
Okay,
assume
you
that.
assume. From past experience.
From past experience.
Your thoughts?
I'm laughing. Wifey in the back. Look, you did this
Wifey,
way.
you
Hey,
better
I'm just
say
like, hey,
so.
Pac.
But either way it go, no, this is a good conversation.
Yeah, it's a great
I'm just
conversation.
saying, I'm just giving you a heads up as a brother.
I wouldn't
Your
listen to
wifey
you.
in the background just did this.
Man, I ain't worried about that.
Yeah,
Okay, I got your back, brother. Answer correctly, brother.
Black women are more, what's the word do I use? I would say aggressive than white women.
We digging ourselves.
They have to.
This is that good.
That's the truth. You know what I mean? I don't know what make it like that. But
I was going to ask you, why do you think they appear more aggressive?
I think because they've been through more, and like just growing up, the black woman was always in a hustle mode for me, and I feel like that's created the strong black woman. I feel like they have to be strong all the time, and I don't think we nurture them enough.
So, and I also hear you saying black women can't take the armor off. They can't chill out.
It's tough.
They
It's
stay
hard.
tough.
It's hard. You've
It's
been
impossible
put
to
down
switch it
all-
off.
You've
Yeah.
been put down for
It's
so
hard.
long.
Okay, so and that's not true. Black women obviously can't switch things off. When they go to work, they're not the same, same stereotypical, and I'm using air quotes here, stereotypical. If brothers think or whoever thinks that they have attitude, sassy, head rolling, neck shaking, and all that, neck rolling, head shaking, sassiness, attitude, they don't do that when they are at work, but because they understand the consequences that may come from that. A lot of them, I'll put it that way. Some, act the same way regardless, but for the most part, it can be turned off in certain situations.
is that what it is? You answering?
I mean, I'm speaking, yes, for me, I listen. What I don't understand is I'm trying, and it's funny to me because I love you. First of all, I love you for being as honest as you are, because what you said is crazy, but I appreciate you.
See, and then here's the thing: it's always, no matter what a brother says, it's never legitimate. It's always, well, what you said is crazy. Why is what he said crazy? He said that was his experience. So immediately you dismiss his experience by saying, what you said is crazy. No, it wasn't crazy. That was his experience. From where he's standing from, and she said she doesn't date women, so then she's at a disadvantage to say how can you say what he's experienced is crazy when you earlier stated that you don't date women, so you don't know. But he's crazy. That's a dismissive tactic.
That's me.
Yo, I'm telling you,
That's me.
No, but I appreciate that's your honesty. Like, I love you for being honest.
It's 1 verse 3 right now, and bro, we losing right now.
Okay, that's Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall, he's shown himself to be, he leans more towards the simp side of things, even in this interview, because like I said, there was a lot of things that she said that was pushing the feminist notions. You could tell her feminist mindset is strong. It's like, Yoda saying the force is strong with this one, the feminism is strong with her, and you could obviously see it with the way she's sitting. Her legs wide open. She's got the man spreading going, and with the type of shorts and so forth that she has on, it's crazy. But it's 3 against 1, and we're losing. What are you guys losing? You're not losing anything. And you guys, just because you guys didn't push back because you don't want to seem as bullies, because she wasn't making a lot of points, and they're gonna catch her up in a lot of things. And let's keep going here.
No, but I'm saying, no, y'all not losing.
I'm telling y'all, she's
because
setting us
most
up.
people-
You're not losing.
She's setting us up. No, she ain't.
I'm
No.
not setting her up, but I'm saying somebody's at home listening like he right. Yeah, like, why won't you just pick up the trash and shut the hell up? Like, somebodies are agreeing with you than they will agree with me. And this is what I'm asking you. You said black women appear more aggressive, but it's because of our circumstance. But because y'all don't even take that into consideration, we just angry. So then we stay angry, right? And we don't even know we angry. We don't even know we mad. We don't even know we pissed off. We like, wait, I'm just trying to take care of the bills. I'm just trying to take care of myself. I don't have nobody else to do it.
See, that's false. You do know you're angry when brothers are telling you that you're angry. All this is a cop-out, and for her to say you don't take in consideration what we're going through, we're going to see some other stuff. And these brothers, obviously this isn't their forte. They are getting into it, meaning they are learning the art of, I guess, intellectual debate and discussion, because, she contradicts herself a lot in this interview. Here she said, you don't take into consideration our plight. She's going to say later in the interview, when she's asked about would she date a man who makes less money than her, it didn't come into play about, the brothers' conditions or why they make so much more money less than white men, or on average black people have less wealth than black people. You didn't take that into consideration when you are talking about dating a man, or when you have a mate. So that's kind of a cop out here.
No, because I don't have a daddy with a trust fund 9 times out of 10. I gotta have 10 jobs. I had 8 jobs in college. I was a full, I was always working. School was secondary. The thing is that that's where we stay. And then when we finally get to a moment to chill out, we like,
Oh, but you better not, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
So, I want to be very careful here, because y'all, you think you.
I'm not, what are you, Brandon?
So I want to reset the conversation, and because I want to join. I want to give my opinion.
Okay, reset.
Awesome. So what are we trying to come? What are you asking right now?
I'm talking about this back and forth between black men and black women that I don't like. Black men consistently criticizing black women, and black women consistently criticizing black men. I don't like it.
You just agreed to it, though.
I do, but I don't like
why
it.
is that even a conversation?
Because that's what's happening in the world today. I think that with the advent, may he, rest in peace and whatever you feel about him, Kevin Samuels, who he made a whole living off of going hard on us. He made a living.
Did you tune in? Did you listen?
I never, because I wouldn't let that get in my spirit. But my
Okay, but you're a journalist. See, that's I wanted to point out. She said she's a journalist and wants to be fair, but you didn't listen, and it's shout out to Brandon for asking that question. And you could tell instantly, that they rock with Kevin Samuels, but by him asking that question, that did you listen to the whole? Did you listen to a whole program? To me, you can't listen to just 1 or 2. If someone says that they're being disingenuous, you have to at least, in my opinion, at least 5 different programs from start to beginning, from start to end, to listen to his commentary and then the calls to understand exactly what he's doing. Because by 5 you'll see a pattern. You'll see a good pattern of what he's trying to do. And if you don't do that, then he made a living off of going hard on us. How would you know, Miss Journalist, that you didn't listen to a whole entire program? See, these people are, so disingenuous. They have their own narrative. She's the journalist when it comes to her narrative. That's the only time. But if it's something that is going to push against her narrative, how can it be on your spirit when you deal with negative topics day in and day out? You're in the sports world. If there's, DV incidents with players, you have to dig into that. Is that getting on your spirit? This is a cop-out. But she's going to do something else that's also a dismissive tactic as well.
Point is, he had a lot of men that I know and respect were following him and listening to him. Women I know who were dating people were like, oh, Kevin Samuels told him to do this. Like, he was somebody's God. And they...
That right there, by saying he was somebody's God. So then anyone who listens to Kevin Samuels, some brothers will then go into that old, shameful, oh, well, I didn't agree with everything he said, that whole type of thing. So that was a shaming tactic, and to dismiss what Kevin was doing or saying, then it's, oh, he was someone's God. Come on.
We're taking that advice and using it in real life. And that just wasn't realistic. And I'm like, why are we beefing with each other? Why do we have such negative images of each other? That's what I don't understand.
So
I want to see you and be like, I'm happy to know that you are who you are. And I'm happy to watch you grow. I'm happy to watch you grow. I know that with enough experience that everything that people wrote about you and said about you wasn't true. Like, we can seek that. Black women can see that. And we give y'all
That's
that
love.
grace. Can y'all give us that grace?
That's love.
Okay, we do not give each other grace. Let's just be honest about it. Black men and black women don't give each other enough grace to understand that there are circumstances of why we each act the way we act and why we are in the predicaments that we are in. So in that situation, if black men should give black women more grace, then black women should give black men more grace as well. But let's get into the next clip here.
Let me ask you
something. Let me ask you
the woman
something.
could get a job doing a
Let me
relationship. What
ask
you gonna do then?
Let me ask you something. As a black woman, right?
Wait, I want to
Hold
go back.
on, just hear me out.
Do you remember what you said to me off camera just now?
Yeah.
And can you say that again eventually?
Yeah. All
Okay.
right. As a black woman,
Oh my goodness, you getting messy.
can you be with a man that's making less money than you?
Yeah.
That's a great question.
Yeah. What about that?
Yeah, it's a great question, but answer the question.
That's a great question.
Hold on.
Kevin Samuels.
Answer that question.
Kevin Samuels.
Swaggy is, like I said, the comedy ensues, the hijinks ensues because, he's bringing back the point because, now you didn't listen to Kevin, but this is exactly what one of his talking points that, women do not want to, or just in the manosphere period or red pill, whatever it is, that, women are hypergamous. They want a man who makes more money than them, typically taller than them, so forth and so on, right?
Go ahead and say no. Be real.
No. That's a great question. What I will say.
She know it's no.
No.
Girl, I had to go here for a whole month. Ain't paid no bills.
Nothing. Been on the couch.
Just sitting on the couch.
Can I be your stay-at-home? Hey, can I be a stay-at-home man?
30-day lease. He got
Right?
20 more days.
Can I be a stay-at-home man? Can I be like, I'm gonna get the kids up?
Do you hear me?
Wait, no,
I'm gonna stay home and get the kids.
Right?
Oh,
You
no.
good. You go to work.
You
Yeah,
gonna work,
to
baby.
ESPN.
You want
CNN all
food?
you
You want food?
I got the babies.
I'll say you
I got
egg.
the babies.
Come on.
Yeah.
Now, can you be
Yeah.
with a man
Can you
that
zoom
make
in?
less money?
Can you zoom in? All of this right here is why we can't have no normal conversation.
Yes, this is
They
great.
so proud. Y'all so proud of yourselves. Y'all gonna be
Look at
good.
that city.
Okay. Two things. One, the first thought is, I don't want to be with someone who makes a significant amount less. But if you in the family of where I live,
No.
okay.
You're right.
Let her answer
Respect,
first.
bro.
Let her answer
Okay.
before you respond.
Okay.
Hold on, let her answer before you respond.
If you're in my family,
Okay, look at how she's sitting with her legs wide open, and you guys see how short the shorts are. If this isn't if this is a masculine frame, if I ever saw one, it is crazy. I watched this video and I was like, yo, will she close her legs? No, like feminine decorum whatsoever. Like sitting over with your legs. They call it man spreading or whatever. Feminists made up a term called man spreading when brothers sit with their legs wide open or whatever. And that's exactly the way she's sitting here. And she would even kind of bend over like men do sometimes with their legs open. It's crazy.
Like where I live and what I'm comfortable with, then I am not gonna have a problem with it. Because here's the thing. The man who works on fries will cheat on you. So if I gotta deal with some drama and you gotta...
Okay, I'm laughing because Swaggy P is funny in this particular episode when she said, because he understood it was a deflection, when she said the man on fries will cheat on you. What, ma'am, what does that have with the question at hand? Would you date a man who makes less money than you? It has nothing to do with the question at hand. And the brother, he sucked his teeth, or whatever, and you can hear him off to the side there. And that was Swaggy P's hilarious in this particular episode here.
Hey, damn, you went there.
So you say
She
you
ain't
can't
taking
be-
it at McDonald's.
Yeah, you
Right.
say you
I'm
ain't
not.
You ain't gonna deal with the man at McDonald's, exactly. So why even bring him up?
You think he gonna cheat on you?
No, my
That's
point
the reason?
is,
So you go
anyone
into every
can...
relationship thinking somebody gonna cheat?
No. I said anyone can do you bad. Not even just cheating. Anyone can do you bad. But when you worked hard and you have become accustomed to a certain lifestyle without help, not that I'm proud of it, I would like some help. I'm tired as come take care of me.
So you rather get cheated on
come
by
take care of me.
a person that got more money?
Yes.
than
No. I don't want to be cheated. My point is, I
yeah.
don't want to be cheated on, period, at all.
That's why she brought that up. If I'm gonna be cheated on, at least it's with a guy that's, worth $100 million. I can accept him cheating, but the guy on fries, I ain't accepting him cheating. That's exactly what her point was.
But the point is that I am not going to make a situation where I have to make myself be less than. And if I only date black men, which I do, despite contrary,
all right.
popular opinion, if I'm gonna date a black man,
Let me pause here. This is a flat out lie. She stated that she only dates white men, or excuse me, she only dates black men, but she's been on a separate podcast before, to where she's clearly talked about how she's dated out of her race, and she dated all kinds of people and would do it again. She said, "Yeah, I prefer to date black men," but she caught flack in 2018 for it. She caught it again just recently, saying it's easier to date. Interracial dating is easier, and social media was going crazy on her about it. And as a matter of fact, I'm just gonna play it for you. I'm not even gonna. You don't even have to take my words for it. I'm just gonna play it for you.
because you're not that kind of chick. Like,
thank you.
anybody, you meet a dude who work at wherever, you
Right.
can be with him, whatever. That's why I don't feel bad about saying I want someone who could take care of himself.
Okay, so this is from the Ball Girl Magic podcast that was hosted by Yvonne Orgy and some other girl named Jess. And this happened about 2017 or so. And they were interviewing Cari Champion. And this is the dialogue that they had between themselves.
Wait, because I'm not like, oh, you don't make this much, I ain't fooling with
Yeah,
you.
no,
Carrie,
no,
I don't
think
even
we'll
act
ever say
way.
that. We'll
I don't
no.
ever act
That's
that
why
way.
because
I
I'm
love Carrie.
Yeah, because I'm even of the mind, like, you know, like I have my like ideal look, but I've dated dudes that are shorter than me.
Sure.
Dudes that I'm like,
Carrie.
yeah, not my
Listen,
type, but you
at
came at me
all.
so right.
And
Have y'all dated outside the race?
And that's Jess who asked the question. So just to be clear, because there was no video with this, it was just an audio podcast. And that's Jess who asked the question. Have y'all dated outside y'all race? Okay?
I have.
That's Cari Champion. I have. She didn't want to be asked that question, but she didn't lie. But that's Cari Champion. I have.
I've gone on a date with a guy that's outside my race.
That's
Not like
Yvonne Orgy.
long term, but like we went on.
Okay, so you've enjoyed a dinner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yo, free meals. I ain't care. Yo, a free meal.
Well,
A foodie call.
My roommate in college, I will not prostitute my stomach, Carrie. I was like, all right, then, well, I am, damn it.
Well,
You
I
hungry?
never- Yo, I used to go on foodie calls when I was broke. That's what I called them. Like, cause that's what happens.
So what do you think about dating outside your race?
I don't have a problem.
Carrie.
I don't
Is there a
necessarily-
difference?
Yes.
What is the difference?
I don't. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you now at this stage in life, I don't prefer it. I would prefer to be with a black man.
Okay.
But
Okay, and reason why she would prefer to be with a black man because, you know, Cari Champion, she's like 47 years old, and she's been able to maintain herself fairly well. You know, she's still fairly attractive, so she understands that it's more probable the later that she gets, she probably would be able to get with a black man at this point. You know, black dudes will still date her. Even a young one will come along and date her, you know, as we're seeing with a lot of these older chicks like Erykah Badu and some of these other chicks who are 50 and dating 20-something-year-olds. So they understand that in the black community, you know, a lot of older women are propped up as, you know, being the standard of beauty in the black community. You know, that, and then you have the whole silliness, black don't crack, you know, from like Sanaa Lathan, Regina Hall, and, you know, some of these older women who are still pretty well put together, that, you know, people look to as the standard of beauty. Like, you don't have the 20-year-olds like they were, you know, in that age range, along with those people who are in their Gen Xers or whatever. But anyway, so black men will still get with her the older she gets. She knows that.
Before, and it was so funny when it ebbs and flows. In college, I was like, I would date anything in college. I was like, somebody asked me out, I'm like, cool, Indian, yay, holla. You know what I mean? Like, or holla.
And see, she stated I was going out with anything. I would date anything in college. And now she's gonna try to clean it up, but because she knows she sounds crazy here.
I like a black Puerto Rican Haitian.
I literally didn't care. I was just like, we going out. It wasn't anything intimate because I didn't have any serious relationships at all in college at all. And I wasn't having sex. I wasn't doing any of that. I just like to date. You know what I mean?
Like date, yeah, right. Them guys ain't just going out with you just all willy-nilly for nothing. Come on. In college, no.
In general. And then I graduated and I was like, nah, I'm good. I want a brother. And then after that, I kind of dated a while and I saw a guy that was like white and I was like, he's corny as hell. Like, I'm not fooling with him. And then I was like, no, actually, nothing.
Sometimes we need the corny ones.
But what it is that it's not much like they say about us, there's not that struggle. What is that struggle? What is that struggle I'm talking about? That back and forth that you don't need to play. It's not that game.
Cari's gonna do the podcast by herself.
No.
You know what I mean?
It's so funny. Can I tell you a story? Which is
Back and forth like how? I don't understand what you were saying.
Like in terms of like when black guys say they date like white girls, they're like it's just easier sometimes. Like, is that what you mean?
That's what they say.
That's what they say.
And it's not.
There's no grace for brothers. That's what they say. Like, you don't believe, you totally discredit what a brother says. If a brother says, oh, well, dang, it's kind of difficult dating black women because of X, Y, and Z. Oh, that's what they say.
Right. It is a stereotype. It's not right, but you do feel that way. Why do you feel that way? I don't know. I don't have that answer yet.
But it's
well, brothers are telling you, and you still, even 5 years later, you're still saying, you're crazy. You know, you tell Swaggy P his experience is crazy. So you don't want the answer. That's the truth of things.
like they don't come. Like, here's an example that might explain it, right? Mm-hmm. So we had a game night and we didn't have like a certain game, and so this black dude was there with. She might be. I'm gonna call her white. She was on the spectrum. I'm gonna call her white. And
you white because you.
I was like, I don't know if she's mixed with anything, but I was like, I think
the
she's
delegation has decided. She's
I'm
white.
gonna call her white. I'm gonna call her white. And so we were all like, dang, I guess we're not gonna be able to play this. And he was like, nah, you wanna go back to the crib and get it? And now the crib wasn't closed, and she was just like, yeah.
Now
every black girl in the place was like, that's why we not winning. Because not one of us would have been like, sure, I'm gonna get in this Uber and go all the way back.
But that's so deep into other cultural issues and stuff that we just are, how we are. That's so deep into that.
Conversations like that are a little lazy and problematic.
No, but when somebody said,
however, I get it.
Somebody said, they broke it down so simply. They were like, she could do that because there's nothing inbred in her to be disrespected. You know what I mean?
And I don't even understand what they're talking about. White women were the ones who came up with however many different waves of feminism, because they were complaining about how they were being treated by their men. They were being treated like cattle and possessions and property. So she has no history. What are you talking about? So it's this black feminism, blame black men. Like we had a parallel or equal. We had an equal oppression towards black women like white men had towards everybody, but in particular they're white women. Black men have never oppressed black women the way white men have oppressed their women. Never. It doesn't happen.
Like
that's what she said. No, that's why I said.
And then Yvonne Orji is Nigerian. So I don't even know what she's talking about. Like, you can't come over here and start speaking for black women, black American women. I don't. So if you're talking about anything, it's got to be from Nigerian men. What are you talking about?
So how do you grow up? Think about your if you grow up with a house that's full of love, safe, trust, mother, father, you never have been told a lie. You have
White people have never been told a lie. These days, man, they go out on the. They will do all kinds of mental gymnastics to prove why white women somehow are so different from them in terms of why they treat their man better, and excuse how poorly black women treat their men relative to how white women treat their men. I mean, it's crazy, the mental gymnastics.
It is, yeah. If it's yes, it's yes. If it's black, it's black. If it's white, it's white. If you grow up like that, there's no reason not to believe what someone tells you they're gonna do for you, or what they want from you, or their love is pure or innocent. But if you grow up with all this mistrust, or your experience have led you to doubt, then
or feeling like you have to prove yourself.
We are a product of experiences.
Exactly.
Who do you have to prove yourself to? Because it isn't black men.
And often the love relationships that black people a black woman and a black man are having today are informed not only by our own experiences, but by the experiences of the collective as a whole over the course of decades and centuries. Like I definitely think black love has a higher mountain to maybe climb.
Because of just both of as a black man, you know how difficult it is. As a black woman, you know how difficult it is.
Right.
And so all the bull crap, we got to come over that and get together and
Right.
love and forget the nonsense.
It takes work. It takes everybody.
But I also think it's
pulling down those walls of like, here's what I'm coming to the table.
I just wanted to hear Jess with the grace for black men, because Cari and Yvonne had none. So let's jump back over to the other clip, because I wanted her to finish not answering whether or not she would date a man who makes less money than her.
But the point is that I am not going to make a situation where I have to make myself be less than. And if I only date black men, which I do, despite contrary, popular opinion, if I'm gonna date a black man and I make more than him, like, I understand why that is. I'm aware of it. But if it's a significant amount less, I'm gonna really have a hard time with it.
Why?
I'm keeping it a buck. Because I'm not paying for you.
See, it's instantly you're not paying for him because he makes significantly less than you. But you understand why he makes less. Come on, stop it, Cari. And we all know the answer is no. They all know the answer is no. She knows the answer is no. Anybody who saw this knows the answer is no.
See, that's the problem. But a good dude can come. But a good dude.
So if a good dude comes and he makes
nothing, zero.
Okay, no.
Hold on.
I'm not doing it.
She
ain't doing it.
I'm not doing it.
So you got a
This
preference.
I wish we had all the women on the damn show right now.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Because
Hold on,
guess what?
see.
You know why I'm not doing it? Because y'all date the baddest with the biggest booties and the smallest waist and all that other shit that y'all want, and y'all don't ever think twice about y'all demands.
Okay, here we go. And here she goes, because she's the quote-unquote journalist, so she thinks she can flip it on these guys. They didn't really push back, but okay, so let's flip it. Instead of keeping the focus on me and what I'm saying, oh no, let me call out the guys and say, well, y'all date whoever y'all want and don't catch flack about it. Black men catch flack about everything that they do, especially these guys in the media, the celebrities, the athletes, the entertainers. Let them date a white woman, it's a problem. Let them date someone who's too like Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick Lamar has been with his girlfriend for since he was young in high school, before he got famous. And he's a colorist because she's light skinned. Wait a minute, she's not a black woman because her skin is lighter? I mean, what are you saying here? You know, black men catch flack for it. Let a black man not want to date someone who was born male. Come on, we don't even have the choice to say, hey, look, I want to be with a woman that was born female, a natural woman, whatever. They were born female, and they're a woman. I don't want to date somebody that was born male and then transitioned over. He's hated for that. I mean, my goodness, a black man can't, so at this point, there's no shame in black men that's working. The shame is starting to wear off. It's been going on for 60, 70 years at least. And, brothers are tired of it. So they're just going to do what they're going to do. Let a brother, here's the biggest one right now. This is the hottest one. Let a brother say he's going overseas, and even if he goes overseas to get a black woman, he could say, I'm going over to get an Afro-Colombian or a Dominican or hell, African, somewhere in the Caribbean. I'm going over to Thailand to get, Afro-Asian or whatever they call them, Afro-Filipino, whatever they call them, because they have Afro everything everywhere. Black is everywhere. So let me get a black woman from any place else, and it's a problem. He's a sex tourist. That's what they call the passport brothers. Oh, they're sex tourists and all this kind of silliness. They're exploiting women over in these other countries. No, he just wanted to find a woman that comes from a culture that is a little bit more feminine or a little bit more patriarchal and so forth.
So if I have a demand that says, don't you make less than me by this amount, that's significantly better than what y'all demand. Y'all be having the baddest of to let her fall off. Y'all get 10 more.
No.
So
You can't
here's
put that
the
on
thought
that.
process.
Yeah, there you go,
because
brother. Push
you
back.
have this unbelievable scale of what you think a woman looks like, which is unbelievable. I can't compete with the whatever the hell y'all think is possible that is created in your own mind, and then y'all like, I don't fool with her because she got a corn on her pinky toe. Like y'all be on that crazy stuff. So for me to say I want a man who's gainfully employed and living in my world and not making my life less than
Kevin Samuels.
it's fine. And here's the thing.
90% of the black guys.
She tried to ignore him saying Kevin Samuels. She hears it and she knows they caught her red-handed.
Don't even do it. I know what you're about to say. Don't let her.
Okay.
What you about to go?
Right. And Pacman made a good point. He said, you just X'd out 90% of the men because they're not in your tax bracket. And then they'll complain about, well, there's not enough good black men. Yeah, there are. There's plenty. There's plenty of good black men. But you want to hold this, okay, he can't make less than me. If the brother's taking care of himself, he may not be able to take care of himself on your level because she said she don't want to pay for a brother. Well, a brother that's making $40,000, and there's some brothers who are in this, they have no kids, they're bachelor, living alone. He's able to take care of himself making $40,000. But she'll assume because I'm making more than him, then I'm going to be making everything. Or I'm going to be paying for everything. And it's silly. And that's just going to keep you where you're at.
Go ahead, finish.
Nope.
Yeah, all right.
Finish your thought.
See, all right, so here.
She's stuck now because the brothers are saying Kevin Samuels, and she's hearing the points that they're bringing up that Kevin made, and now she don't want to talk anymore.
And I'm not afraid of none of y'all, so keep
I need more wine.
Kevin Samuels.
And we not.
I ain't afraid of none of y'all.
She said she ain't dating nobody that make less.
Put CC over
No,
here
no,
right
no.
now.
I said
right now.
significantly
2
less.
minutes.
So if he
I
make
said
it
significantly less.
let's just say
Hold on, you just had your space to talk.
Y'all
let's
fool.
just say
ESPN,
Can I
you.
have some
Hey,
wine too? Because
he gotta
they're
be making
stressing
over
me
$250,000.
out, and it's not fair.
I got a daughter. She better not bring no broke dude home.
Fact.
Oh no, you ain't in the conversation right now.
I'm joining in.
No, you ain't.
I'm turning around. I'm not in. I'm out.
But no, so
I'm
basically,
out.
It's hard
so
out here in
listen,
the streets, boy.
let's say you my sister. You my sister. You making $1 million.
Okay.
Hell, you should be making for real. If you look at the market, you should
Just
be
get
making
to the
3.
point.
Brother said,
People
just get to
subscribe, follow, and partner with CC.
Swaggy is hilarious, I'm telling you.
If the bread is good, and then you then you come to me and say, bro, you know, I got this young man, I got this gentleman. He's phenomenal. He loved me. We see the world the same way. All right, we about to have these babies, right? And financially, we set. I'm on TV. I can work for the next 20 years making $3 million a year. Okay? What I need right now is him to make sure home is good, the babies are good, because I'm out. I got to get Swaggy. I got to go get Kaepernick. I got to go get AB. I'm going to go get this person. I'm working. We good financially, so make sure the home is good.
Yeah.
I don't need him to contribute from a financial standpoint.
There are
You know what
women-
I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say this. If he love you and he doing his job in that aspect, he cool.
I think that's beautiful. And I love that you are open-minded and you are a father that is kind.
You wouldn't even get started. You're not even looking at the guy who's making less than you. I don't know why they should have just immediately said that. She's not looking at a guy who's making less than her, who's not in those arenas. If he's not in those circles, if he's not in the either entertainment circles or the business circles that she's in, she's not talking to that guy. A guy can't just, meet her on the street or meet her at some function, because the functions that she's going to be at are going to be high end anyway. So a regular guy can't just get into one of these functions and then meet her and then think, oh, well, yeah, I'm going to get with her. As soon as she finds out, what do you do? Oh, well, I'm a network engineer. I'm an HVAC guy. I'm a plumber. It's a wrap. The plumber, he may be making $150,000 a year. The electrician, $150,000. He owns his own electrician company, a plumbing company, or HVAC, own consulting company, making, $150,000. No, that's not enough for what she's looking for. That's still under her.
No, it ain't no paint. See, you painting the picture wrong.
Yeah.
What I'm
If
saying
you
is,
are
here's what I thought
you
when I
are
first-
an artist without any
Look at how manly she's. I cringe every time I look at this, and I'm going to show you a picture of her in these shorts. It is nuts how high these shorts are. Okay, so I want to take a look at some of the stuff that she's wearing, because she kept stating that at ESPN she was supposed to be seen and not heard. She was the host for where Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, I think it was First Take, and she was the host. It was a debate show between these two guys. So she said that she was always asked, why don't you talk? You have opinions. Why aren't you saying anything? Why aren't you saying anything? And her point was, hey, I got opinions. I'm smart or whatever. And my point is, if you're the host, you're there to host. It is not a three-way debate show. And she's like, oh, Cari, Molly Karam, she gets to talk, and she talks too much. Most people don't like the audience that is geared towards are not there to hear Molly Karam. They're not here to hear you or any other female host. If you chime in, sure, but most of the time, especially Molly Karam, whatever her name is, she's an airhead, and that's not the demographic that wants to see Molly Karam. She's there to, if anything, be eye candy. I don't particularly think she's all that or whatever, but but here's some of I just want to go through some of the dresses that she was wearing on the set of ESPN, and this absolutely looks like she's going to the club. It is crazy how some of the dresses or skirts or whatever that she was wearing. I'm like, I've been in corporate America, and even corporate America says a skirt can only be so far, or the skirts have to come down to the knee. Look how far above her knee that these skirts are. She absolutely 100% looks like she's going to the club. She's going to a club environment as opposed to working in corporate America. It is crazy. Women in certain positions that I was or companies that I work for could not wear skirts this high. you know, it is crazy. And she says, okay, I want to be taken seriously, and I want you guys to hear what I'm saying. When it's clear that she knows why she's there, to be eye candy. And look at the shorts that she's wearing here. I just brought this up because this is a social setting, so I get it why she's wearing shorts that high, right? So she loves to wear shorts that high to show off her legs, right? From the pictures that I've seen. And I only brought these shorts up because this is a social setting, her with Big Tigger, and these shorts, again, interviewing another Omar Epps on ESPN or SportsCenter. Again, shorts really high, way above the thigh. I'm only pointing this out because, you know, I want you to see she's there. She knows exactly why she's there. And this is the reason why she's there. Okay? You know, I'm just going through, just let you guys see some of the outfits here. This is absolute club attire, or she's going to a social setting, okay? So I wanted to point out here, this is her running away at the end of the podcast or the interview of I Am Athlete podcast. I wanted to point out here exactly what she was wearing in this interview, and with her legs sitting wide open, these are the shorts that she was wearing. Like I said, she loves to wear those extra high shorts, and then with these, they, you know, they kind of flail open so they're not tight. But, you know, these are shorts that if you have your legs open, they could be very revealing. But she sat like that pretty much for the entire podcast, and you know, it is hilarious when, you know, these women say, hey, I want to be taken serious, but then, you know, sure, wear whatever you want to wear, but, you know, when you wear, obviously you're wearing this to bring attraction to your legs. There's no other reason to wear shorts that high, except for you want to show off your thighs and how long your legs are. She must get compliments on her legs all the time or whatever. She clearly thinks that's one of her attributes, but, and to quote, it's something, when I saw her, it brought up the it brought up a saying that Tariq Nasheed loves to say, and it cracked me up because I thought about her instantly. He said, a black woman with a flat butt, never trust a black woman with a flat butt. They're untrustworthy. And he said the reason why, he said, because they feel that they've been shorted an asset that's usually attributed to black women, you know, having a nice frame or a nice butt or whatever. But they've been shorted, so they become bitter and angry and are untrustworthy. And that is absolutely Cari Champion, because though she has legs, and you understand why a lot of white boys might like her, but she doesn't have the you know, she has Daisy Dukes on, and she can't fill up Daisy Dukes. I remember back in the days when the Daisy Dukes song came out by them brothers. She's clearly not, you know, packing anything in terms of, these Daisy Dukes are flat back here. You can easily tell with this picture here, and, you know, it reminds me of that. So never trust a woman with a flat butt. It's so funny, but anyway, so, you know, final thoughts, you know, again, you know, Cari Champion, she proved once again that, you know, Kevin Samuels and his talking points are undefeated. You know, he's still the champ because she played right into it. If she had listened to Kevin Samuels all, you know, multiple shows, she probably would have thought, she would have seen, actually, she wouldn't have walked into some of those traps. And the brothers wasn't even setting traps, they were just having a conversation. But when she said certain things, especially when she said, oh, well, you know, she never listened to Kevin Samuels, and then these brothers brought up some points that proved him right yet again, that she's not going to date a guy that makes less than her. And the guy that she dates, he doesn't have to necessarily be famous, but, you know, he definitely has to make more money than her, even though she's almost 50 at this point. You know, obviously children are out for her most likely. You know, she's rounding 50. And she's probably okay with that because she sacrificed for a career. Women who are career driven like this oftentimes are very masculine because they have to compete in a masculine environment. And to compete with men, you have to become masculine. So, she's probably okay with that. And, but, she had a lot of feminist talking points, and she lied a couple of times talking about she only date black men, contrary to popular belief, because brothers went hard on her on social media, especially when she tried to call out people like Floyd Mayweather and, the DV incidents, the men who got charged with DV in the NFL or sports entertainment industry, Ray Rice, people like that. She made sure she wanted to have a voice, and wasn't so that way with some of the white men who did the same thing. They were kind of quiet. Her and her buddy Jemele Hill, they didn't have a lot to say when it was white men who were charged with DV, and they didn't go as hard with as far as black men goes. And one of the reasons why she stated that she wants to hold brothers to a higher standard because she doesn't have any hope for white men, but you date them. Man, make that make sense. That makes absolutely no sense. You want to hold brothers to a higher standard, but you don't have any hope for white men, so you don't really hold them to any kind of standard, but yet you date them. That makes absolutely no sense. So again, she's one of these I love black men but really don't, and it comes across whenever she talks and whenever she opens her mouth. All throughout this podcast, it was the brothers don't pull up the sisters, the brothers don't do this. She was telling these guys, when you guys have a business deal, you'll call your boy Ray and them and all this, that, and the third, but you won't call us. And it's like, they're not supposed to. Why are they supposed to? If I know someone, if I know my friend, I'm going to do business with my friend before I'll do business with a stranger, even though we just know each other in this arena. But then they see how you get down, man. That's why they don't call you. They see how Jemele Hill will post, black men are the white people of black people, or heterosexual black men are the white people of black people. She'll see them post this kind of stuff in the black feminist talking points. And brothers are like, nah, I'm not going to do business with you. I don't trust you. So, it's a credibility issue on your part, ma'am, to why brothers are not calling you to do business. But, they had you on the podcast. It was a good interview. But, again, these women consistently, prove what Kevin was saying was right. It's, the champ is undefeated, again, in terms of his talking points, that these women continue to prove him right, and they don't listen to him, and then they just come into a podcast and then prove him right. And she again, I think the reason why they understand, they really understand that this brother was the guy that they wanted, the typical type of black man. That the black man that she prefers is like Kevin Samuels. He has enough money to be in her to be in her circles. He's taller than her. The brother was 6, whatever, 3, 4, whatever, however tall he was. Distinguished. He was polished, well spoken. He had the Gray Fox thing going. So they hear that kind of stuff from him, that, hey, we want younger women, or we want women that are this, that, and the third. This is why it hurt their soul, and it hurt, her soul, Vivica Fox, and any of those other women in that cohort, in that 40 to 50 age range, Gen X. They're the ones that are most salty because he's a Gen Xer, and these are the guys that they want, but most don't qualify for. So, but those are my final thoughts. Peace, Rebels.